Muhammad had a transformational spiritual experience and traveled through the Arabian Peninsula, proclaiming that he was the last prophet of Allah, the one God he believed in. He became the founder of the religion of Islam. Allah's words were given to Muhammad and compiled by his followers in the Quran. Muhammad's journey to Mecca became a symbolic starting point of the official Islamic calendar and a religious pilgrimage for followers of Islam.
After Muhammad's death, Islam's influence and the Islamic Empire expanded. Muslims conquered Byzantine Egypt, Palestine, Mesopotamia, North Africa, then Persia. Hindu India, especially people of the book or Christians and Jews, to maintain their own religious practices but required them to pay tax. The Quran helped and hurt women. It improved security of women by outlawing female infanticide and ruled that dowry got to brides and described women as honorable individuals, equal to men, not property. However, male dominance was emphasized. Men were permitted to take up to 4 wives, and women were veiled in public.
Patrilineal.
Yeah.
The Islamic Empire was influenced by the Persians, the Indians, and the Greeks.
Followers of Islam split into 2 sects, the Sunni and the Shiites. The Sunni believed that the leaders or Muhammad's successors should be chosen from the Muslim community. They form the majority of Islamic people today. The Shiites, on the other hand, believe that the successor to Muhammad should only be descendants of Muhammad. They are a small minority today.
The Ottoman Empire was established when Osman declared independent from the Seljuk Sultan and began to build a state out of the declining Byzantine Empire in 1299. In 1453, the Sultan Mehmed II captured Constantinople and renamed it Istanbul. By 1480, the Ottomans controlled the remainder of the Byzantine Empire, Greece, and the Balkan region. People just like it better that way. Constantinople, I'm just in bold. Constantinople, it's been a long time. Constantinople, I'm now taking night night.
Suleiman the Magnificent was the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire from 1520 to 1566. He expanded the empire into southern Europe and created an efficient, centralized bureaucracy. He is known as a lawgiver for improving the legal system. He was a great patron of the arts and was known for his religious tolerance. The Safavid family consolidated their control over modern-day Iran and ruled until 1736. They established the Shiite sect of Islam as the official religion of their empire. Under Shah Abbas the Great, the capital was moved to Isfahan. The army was modernized, and long-distance trade flourished. Constant conflict with the Ottomans, coupled with the threat of an increasingly strong Russian Empire to the north and the Mongol empires to the south, led to their decline.
The Mughal Empire was an Islamic empire established in India following the defeat of the Delhi Sultanate in 1526. The Mongols unified much of the subcontinent under the leadership of Akbar, who established a strong centralized empire in the region. The Bantus migrated across the African continent from 3000 BCE to 500 CE. They established decentralized governments that governed through family and kinship groups. Conflict among these groups led to the formation of militaries and formal government institutions.
Islam arrived in North Africa in the 700s. In the 12th century, it spread inland among trade routes.
Ghana was a primary state of West Africa, located between the Senegal and Niger rivers from 750 to 1250 CE. Ghana became increasingly important as a result of the trans-Saharan trade, especially gold, which Ghana acquired from the south. In exchange for gold, slaves, and ivory, Ghana received horses, cloth, manufactured goods, and salt.
Mali also benefited from the trans-Saharan trade, even more so as it controlled and taxed almost all trade through West Africa. Mali rulers honored Islam. King Mansa Musa made a pilgrimage to Mecca and brought with him a huge caravan and camels carrying gold. He also built a capital in Timbuktu.
The introduction of the camel sped up communication and transportation across the Sahara.
Ibn Battuta is the most celebrated Muslim traveler in the post-classical world. He was an Islamic scholar who kept a record of his travels throughout the Islamic world.
The Islamic Empire of Songhai was established in the 1400s upon the decline of the Mali Empire and lasted until the 1600s. Like the West African kingdoms that preceded it, Songhai had control of the trans-Saharan trade routes. Timbuktu reached its height during this time and attracted merchants, traders, and Islamic scholars. The Kingdom of Benin was located on the Guinea coast in the savannah. It was made up of farming villages which traded pepper, ivory, and slaves. This slave trade began when the Portuguese arrived. A famous king was Oba, who was a religious and political leader. They were known for their bronze and brass sculptures. The Eastern African Kingdom of Kush was located south of Egypt in Nubia. They were dominated by Egypt for a long period of time and adopted much of their culture. However, they eventually rose up and conquered Egypt. They developed a trade empire with Rome and India. Another East African kingdom, Aksum, was located in present-day Ethiopia. They replaced Kush as the dominant kingdom of the region. They were descendants of African farmers and traders who brought Jewish traditions to Africa. They were the first and only Christian kingdom in Africa. This was beneficial because it helped them create ties with the medieval world. By 640 AD, they had been surrounded by Islamic empires. Great Zimbabwe was located in South Africa and was founded by the Shona people. Because of its strategic location, it participated in gold trade routes. In 1450, it was abandoned. The Kingdom of Congo, located in Central Africa along the Congo River basin, began its rise in the 1300s. When the Portuguese arrived, the kings converted to Christianity and encouraged their subjects to do the same. Kings of Congo were defeated by the Portuguese when they tried to halt the slave trade.